Hare Krishna. All right, so let's start. There's a lot of noise from your side, Ashwini. What is it? Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Svatim Vyasam Tato Vayam Nidhi Nashtaprayeshvabhidresho Nityam Bhavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nishtikhi Om Agyanatamiran Hasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajeevam Sadhaitam Savadhitam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lita Shri Vishnu Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Takta Kanchana Gaurangri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhamasute Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Nachakalpataru Nascha Kupasandhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanubhyo Vaishnavim Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna. So we are on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Now this chapter 15 is very famous, right, in India? Everybody there, I don't know for what reason. Supreme Person, even during this Purushottam Mass, right, they read this chapter. So let's read and examine why is it so famous. Any idea, Ashwini? Why people read this chapter a lot? You know, Shikala, why people, yes.
This whole chapter is spoken by Bhagwan Krishna, and in Hindi it's Purushottam Yog. So Purushottam Yog, Bhagwan के द्वारा बोला गया है पूरा chapter.
The entire Gita is spoken by Krishna.
No, बीच में तो अर्जुन उवाच ऐसा बात है, इसमें कभी एक भी श्लोक में अर्जुन उवाच नहीं, पूरा श्री भगवान उवाच.
Ridiculous. This is ridiculous if you ask me.
Shri Bhagwan uvacha.
There is question and answer, right?
But this particular this chapter is
answer.
No, particular this chapter is spoken by only Shri Bhagwan.
But the entire Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna.
Yes, but a question asked by someone, no? But in this chapter, no one is asked question. Only Krishna.
Arjun is asking question and Krishna is replying. Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue. It's a question. This Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Unless the student requires Guru doesn't speak.
We believe that yes. It's Purushottam Yoga and spoken by this particular chapter only by Krishna.
So, why the whole Bhagavad Gita is Krishna? It's ridiculous. Somebody's propagating something concocted in their brain. Entire Bhagavad Gita is Krishna speaking. Arjuna asked some questions from chapter 14, right? Let's look. This is horrible what you're saying. That let's remove the person, remove the inquirer, which is only Krishna. This is impersonalism. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha in text chapter 14. Krishna, Arjuna asked some
21 Arjuna
question.
Uvacha. First text 21, 14 chapter Arjuna Uvacha. And then Krishna replied.
And Krishna it's a dialogue. Arjuna's asking some question, just like I asked a question, right? I asked a question. Krishna is
ये पूरा मतलब ऐसे बोलते हैं कि ये हमारे डे टू डे लाइफ मतलब इंसान के जीवन से रिलेटेड है ऐसे तो हम लोग में ऐसे बोलते हैं आफ्टर डेथ हम लोग बोलेंगे ये चैप्टर
what's that?
तो कोई मर जाता है ना जिसकी भी डेथ हो जाती है तो हमारे में कंपलसरी है सब लोग उसके पास बैठ के ये 15 चैप्टर बोलेंगे और बोलेंगे ये हम गुजराती में हम लोग
Okay, all right. Now you are giving a better answer. Right. So you're saying because it is a transmigration of the soul. All right, it's describing the transmigration of the soul. So that's it. And I'm saying entire Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna. Arjuna just asking a question here and there, right? And Krishna speaking. And when he has some, it's not a story. Bhagavad Gita is an Upanishad. Upanishad means a Shishya is sitting close to the spiritual master and asking a question, right? Just like now, like when the students don't come for the class, right? The teacher cannot speak, right? So I say I remove the student, only the teacher will speak. What it doesn't make sense, right? So now you can cross that out. It's false, what other people are saying. My God. So in answer, so Krishna's continuing his answer to Arjuna, to which question? Yes. The question is, the inquirer, this is Upanishad, the inquirer. Tattva Jigyasa, text 21, chapter 14, text 21. Arjuna inquired, "Oh my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior and how does he transcend the laws of nature?" So Krishna described the whole thing, and then he says how we go beyond material modes, we come to Brahma Jyoti, and Krishna says that I am that, the basis of the Brahman. And then now, chapter 15, Krishna is continuing on his own, he's describing. So there is text 26, 27 is related to chapter 15, text 1. So what Krishna is saying in 14, 26. One who engages in full devotional service and failing in all circumstances at once transcend the modes of material nature and this comes to the level of Brahman. And Krishna says, and I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Urvamulam Madhashatham Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani Yastam Veda Savedavid. All right, Shikala, read.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic kinds. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. After this discussion of the importance of Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotional service, already knows the Vedas. The
All right,
entanglement-
so here
Yeah.
comes the answer. Here comes the answer. All right. So because this chapter is telling us, Prabhupada is saying, so because this chapter is telling us that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. That's why this chapter is so famous.
The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree. For one who is engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another, to another, to another. The tree of this material world has no end, and for one who is attached to this tree, there is no possibility of liberation. The Vedic hands meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. These trees' roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapter, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. And up to the 13th chapter, we have seen that devotional service to the Supreme Lord is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of the Lord.
Yeah, we're not hearing your voice. We're not hearing properly.
The process of breaking now,
Yeah.
the process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. The root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded. So many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of the living entities, activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Now there is no ready experience in this world of a tree situated with its branches down and its roots upward. But there is such a thing. The tree can be found beside a reservoir of water. We can see that the trees on the bank reflect upon the water with their branches down and roots up. In other words, the tree of this material world is only a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. This reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire, just as a tree's reflection is situated on water. Desire is the cause of things being situated in this reflected material light. One who wants to get out of this material existence must know this tree thoroughly through analytical study. Then he can cut off his relationship with it. This tree being the reflection of the real tree is an exact replica. Everything is there in the spiritual world. The impersonalists take Brahman to be the root of this material tree. And from the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, come Prakriti, Purusha. Then the three gunas, then the five gross elements, Panch Mahabhut, then the 10 senses, this Dasendriya, mind, etc. In this way, they divide up the whole material world into 24 elements. If Brahman is the center of all manifestations, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees. And the other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. The material world is the perverted reflection. So the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness, but in reality. The Prakriti is the external energy of the Supreme Lord, and the Purusha is the Supreme Lord himself, and that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Since this manifestation is material, it is temporary. A reflection is temporary, for it is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. But the origin from whence reflection is reflected is eternal. The material reflection of the real tree has to be cut off. When it is said that a person knows the Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut off attachment to this material world. If one knows that process, he actually knows the Vedas. One who is attracted by the ritualistic formulas of the Vedas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the tree. He does not exactly know the purpose of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas, as disclosed by the personality of Godhead himself, is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world.
Okay. So we know the purpose of this chapter. All right? What is the purpose of this chapter?
To know the Krishna,
We know Krishna and
Vedas, that how to cut down the reflected tree.
yeah, how to cut down the reflected tree. Right? We don't even know we're upside down. Right? We are hanging upside down. We don't even know this. Somebody has to tell us, look, you're not walking straight up, you're walking upside down. You don't know all this, right? The wrong side of the law of gravity. So the purport is clear.
No, Mataji, it is so difficult.
Oh my God, I thought it's so simple. I'll have to go. Okay, so let's reread.
No, this concept of perverted tree has always, I found it very difficult to understand.
See,
And
the,
as it's the head.
okay, then let us read through it. The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree. Why a banyan tree? See the word used, entanglement, right? The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree.
banyan tree
Why a banyan tree?
बहुत साल जिंदा रहता है, मतलब उसके एक बीज से बहुत सारे बीज होते हैं और वो कभी खत्म नहीं होता, लास्ट लॉन्ग है. तो हम जैसे संसार में आते जाते ही रहते ऐसे.
Yeah, Ashwini, why? You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. So as I understand from Shikala Mataji, she said that it's because it's never dying tree. It doesn't die, and it grows big and it has many seeds. It keeps growing.
Well, the banyan tree has very deep
Roots.
roots, right? Extremely deep roots. It's not that it doesn't die. Our, young was like alive, live tree just fell. It fell during a monsoon. It just crushed the banyan tree. So that happened because the root didn't have sufficient space. So the root became very weak down. But the banyan tree, it grows roots down, go deep down, very deep down. And not only that, it throws roots from top, and those roots again grip the soil. So it's like from down there is root, and from up also there's root. And it's very large, as you're saying, it's very large. And I heard that this banyan tree, this is what we call people in Sanskrit, banyan tree, ashvat, right? Ashvat tree, right? Ashvat tree. I heard that this name banyan came because the banya used to put up their shop underneath this ashvat tree. So the British people, they call this the banyan tree. So actually it's ashvat. What is the meaning of ashvat?
वट वृक्ष, हम लोग गुजराती में वट वृक्ष,
Hmm?
वट वृक्ष बोलते हैं.
No, Vattavruksha is
वट
different.
वृक्ष, हाँ.
Vattavruksha is different. What
नहीं,
has lot of नहीं ये Vattavruksha नहीं है. ये people है.
पीपल
है.
ऐसे नहीं होते. पीपल तो आप इतने ग्रो नहीं करते, डीप रूटेड नहीं होता पीपल. वट वृक्ष ही इतना ग्रो करता है, और इसके ब्रांचेस, इसके रूट.
Anyway, whatever, but it is a very big tree, all right? Ashvat. Meaning it looks real, but it's not real. It looks immortal. I just gave the example. It's such a massive tree, right? This ashvat tree. So it's an imperishable. Let's look in the Sanskrit. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urva Moolam, with roots above. I just said, right? Adaha downward. All right, so it has its roots upwards and its branches down. And whose leaves are the Vedic pines? One who knows this tree is the law of the Vedas. So Ashva. Avyayam, eternal. Chandamsi. So this tree is said to be eternal, meaning you can't kill it, because it's been compared to the Atma, right? The Atma is planting a seed. And because the Atma is eternal, all right, the Atma is eternal. Where is it? Eternal. Avyayam. The Atma is eternal. So when you discard one body, you take up another body. So it seems that the body is eternal. Right? You're eternally locked in the body. So we leave one and then we carry forward. Like whatever was left in the previous cycle of life, we carry it forward and we go on. So it's like a loop. Go on, go on, go on. So finally we are weaving this huge tree. Banyan tree. So how we are weaving this tree, it is because of fruitive activities. For one who's engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. So he wanders from one branch to another, meaning that, as I'm saying, that each branch is like one body. You leave one body, you take another. So it's another branch. It's go on. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. So the tree's roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. So you have to use your imagination here. Usually I have a board. I usually write it on the board. So you have to see like there is a platform, right? A platform. And the root of the tree is on that platform. All right. So the material creation is like a tree that is upside down. So it's large at the top and it is narrow at the bottom. This is the shape of the universe. So it's very large at the top. And this is where Lord Brahma is sitting. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself upon the leaves of this tree. The tree's roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. Everybody knows Lord Brahma created this universe. So the root of creation is Lord Brahma. All right? The root of creation. And then you come down, right? Everybody knows Brahma Lok, I don't know which loka, Satyalok, Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, right? Tapalok. Satyalok, Tapalok, Mahalok, Janalok, I don't know which loka, then Swargalok, then Bhulok, then Bhubarlok, then Patalok, right? It's going down. And the entire planetary system is very firmly hooked onto that root, which is Brahmalok, right? The entire planetary system is firmly hooked, right? And it's coming down. So the largest of all the planetary system is Brahmalok. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, meaning that actually this tree is Ashvat. It's a tree of illusion. It's a tree where it's like you enter in there and you get lost. Just get lost. Somebody has to take us out from it. So how will we come out? This is explained here. This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapters, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. So up to 13th chapter, so devotional service is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of the Lord. The process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. So, devotional service has been described. Now, we are not able to engage in devotional service unless we are detached from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of the Lord. So basic principle is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of the Lord, meaning that when you drop one thing, you're able to pick up something else. So why is it that when we ask people, including our initiated devotees or our congregation, We ask them, please come and do seva, they say no time. So if they have no time, meaning they are doing something else. Right? So it's required that we always, measure how I'm using my time. Meaning, if I'm not engaged in devotional service, it means that I'm engaged in material attachment. Our words, our karmana, manasa, gira. My action, my mind, and my words. How am I engaging these three? So the process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. The root of this material existence grows upward. Are you able to understand this, Ashwini? I've just tried to make an image.
Yeah.
Right? This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of the living entities' activities, namely dharma, artha, and moksha. Is it clear so far?
Yeah.
All right. Now, there is no ready experience in this world of a tree situated with its branches down and its roots upward. That's why you said, no, I don't understand. So, right? So here Prabhupada said, why you don't understand? Because nobody has seen something like this. But Prabhupada said, that tree can be found beside a reservoir of water. So what do you see in a reservoir of water? We can see that the trees on the bank reflect upon the water with their branches down and roots upwards. So meaning the lowermost become the topmost. So if we have a tree like this and the roots are there, so in the material world, what will be seen first? The root will be seen first, right? You can understand that? We have a mirror. There is a mirror, right? And if I place my hand like this on the mirror, all right, this is the end of the hand, right? And on the mirror, what will I see first? I will see the end. Right? It's an inverted image. Just try it. Take a mirror, put any object. Take a pencil, right? You will see the pencil is upside down.
Yeah.
In other words, the tree of this material world is only a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. This reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire, just as a tree's reflection is situated on water. So now, what is the cause of this reflection? What is the cause of this reflection?
Desire.
Yeah, desire. Desire is the cause of things being situated in this reflected material light. So the real light is Brahma Jyoti, right? But when it comes into the material world, it becomes dark, actually. And then there is a reflection from the sun. We explained before that the sun is reflecting Brahma Jyoti, and therefore there is sunlight. Desire is the cause of things being situated in this reflected material light. So there is a material light in this world, right? And this is how we take advantage of the light to do all our work. Normal people they do their work during the day because there is light. And during the night, after sunset, gradually they go to sleep. And then again, when the light is breaking, before the light breaks, they wake up. This is the natural life. But because we have created, lamps and all types of, before maybe, if there is just a lamp, an oil lamp or something, as soon as it burns out, we say, okay, good night. But now, because we've got electricity, we've got so many things, so we create day during the night. Isn't it? So, but yeah, anyway, let's not get into too much of this. I'll go on having 1 hour discussion of false light and etc. We don't have time for this. Desire the cause of things being situated in this reflected material life. One who wants to get out of this material influence must know this tree thoroughly through analytical study. Then he can cut off his relationship with it. So this chapter now wants us to give us an analytical understanding of what is material existence, how we have become entangled in material existence. This tree, being the reflection of the real tree, is an exact replica. See, the thing is that we don't know about all these things. We are reading it from Bhagavad Gita and we accept it, right? We can't understand what's our origin. Now, this is the origin of creation. This is what's being described here. So, origin of creation, meaning there is the topmost planet is known Brahma, and this is the root of all creation. So here is being explained that from the root, everything gets expanded. All the different lokas get expanded in all its variety. But the point is that entire creation is locked, right? It's locked into this Brahmalok, right? But this Brahmalok, topmost planet system, is not real. The real thing is on the other side. All right. So meaning this Brahmalok also is like a point between the spiritual world and the material world. It's the connecting point between the spiritual world and the material world. So that's why it's a yogi managed to come to Brahmalok. He can come out. He can come to your creation. This is right here. So the real tree is above this reflected surface, meaning the desire. And this tree is an exact replica of the spiritual tree. Everything is there in the spiritual world. The impersonalists take Brahman to be the root of this material tree. And from the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, from Prakriti, Purush, then the 3 gunas, then the 5 gross elements, Panch Mahabhuta, then Dashendriya, mind, etc. Do we know what we're talking about here? Ashwini, you know what we're talking about here?
About the material world and its composition.
Yes, right. In this way, they divided the whole material world into 4 elements. Right?
Yeah.
If Brahman is the center of all manifestations, if Brahman is the center of all manifestations, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees, and the other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. So if Brahman, what is Brahman? Brahman is the center, all right? You have the
Mataji,
center here.
please,
And it's
Ashwini
the-
Mataji, mute yourself.
from that center.
Please. Thank you.
So see, if Brahman is the center, all right? So if we cut it into two, so 180 degrees will be down and 180 degrees will be up. All right? If Brahman is the center, okay? Brahman is the center, you cut it into two. Half will be up, 180 degrees will be up, and half 180 degrees will be down. You follow this? You have a center point, Brahman, right? This is the source of life. This Brahman is the source of life, right? So it is 180 degrees up, 180 degrees down. Material world is the perverted reflection. So the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness. Perverted means it is inverted and it is not clear, it's distorted, perverted, distorted. So if, for example, if we say in the material world, there are men and women, then we should know that in the spiritual world also there's going to be man and woman. This shape will exist. In the material world there are cows, in the spiritual world there are cows also. But in the material world, the form of man and woman and cow, they deteriorate, they become old and they die. Whereas in the spiritual world, the form, the shape is eternal. It doesn't become old. Is the external energy of the Supreme Lord. And the Purusha is the Supreme Lord himself. And that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. The Prakriti is the external energy of the Supreme Lord. Then this Prakriti is the external energy. Bahiranga. Prakriti is the external energy. And Purusha is the Supreme Lord. Right? And that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Since this manifestation is material, it is temporary, like I just said. We have the forms that deteriorate. So it is temporary. A reflection is temporary, for it is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen, right? So here we are, everybody knows this. A family member, a relative dies, right? The body has vanished, right? So he was there with us, or she was there with us, and they vanished. So sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. But the origin from whence the reflection is reflected is eternal, meaning the soul, the Brahman. The soul is Brahman. So the origin from whence the reflection is reflected is eternal. The material reflection of the real tree has to be cut off. So if we are to actually see the soul, then we have to cut off that false form, a false tree that we are seeing. We have to cut it off. When it is said that a person knows the Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut off attachment to this material world. So what is it that's making the soul grow bodies? It is, what is it? What is the cause of the soul growing bodies?
Desire.
Activities.
Yeah, okay, desires, activities, but what the main thing?
Our attachments.
Attachment, yes. Our attachment. Lagao, right? They say lagao. Right? So our whole body is taking birth because of this lagao. Right? Like our present body is the culmination of all our attachments. What I am right now. It's the culmination of all our attachments. I'm speaking of the body, gross body and subtle body, our tendencies, our desires, our mannerism, our reactions, how we react to things, our impulses. Everything is a culmination of all these lagao, you could say, attachments. Sometimes they say lagna also. If one knows that process, yeah, so now when it is said that a person knows the Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut off attachment to this material world. If I say, yes, I know the Vedas, I know Bhagavad Gita, meaning you have understood how to cut off this attachment. One who's attracted by the ritualistic formulas of the Vedas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the tree. He doesn't know exactly the purpose of the Vedas. So if I read the Vedas and I'm very much attached to all the rituals, meaning that I'm creating I'm creating my future body by following all these ritualistic ceremonies given in the Vedas. The Vedas is offering us so many goodies. And I take it. So what am I doing? Instead of cutting the attachment, I am increasing the attachment because I'm enjoying life. The purpose of the Vedas, as disclosed by the personality of Godhead himself, is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world. So why this chapter is so important and famous? Because it teaches us how to cut down the reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world. And what is the opportunity for me to cut down that tree and return back home, back to Godhead, is when I'm dying. Right? When I'm dying, this is my opportunity to just go out. I don't come back. You know, see, Bhagavad Gita is giving a lot of information. You know, lot of information, different things, different destinations. But finally, Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to cut down this tree and go out from this material world. Anyway, we are going to study this chapter, and I'm very curious to know what it's all about. So we'll stop here. If we take another text, it's going to take a long time. No? So we'll stop here. So this is the basis. So this tree is described in 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Om Shagal Patari Misra, Kripa Sindhi, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. All
Thank you,
right.
Mataji. This is
It
going
was-
to be tough for you.
Thank you to you, Aswini Mataji. You said you can't understand. That's why we come
This
to
chapter I
detail.
find very difficult to understand, especially these few verses in the beginning.
Did you understand today what we discussed?
Today, Mataji, yeah. But just one, I have still one query is that,
Okay.
I mean, is this tree really existing or it's just an imaginary tree?
Tree of
For us to
illusion. It's the tree of illusion, meaning our body is illusion. Why is it illusion? Is ashvat. It's not true. Asat, it's asat. Ashvat, right? It's asat. Our body is asat. Why is it asat? Because it keeps changing. Right? Is it?
Yeah, Mataji. Sorry. I had some.
You're muted.
Yeah, I had to tell something to my help. That's why I muted. Sorry, Mataji. Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah. It's asat. The body is asat. It keeps changing. Which verse is that from your Bhagavad Gita?
Dehinosmin yatha devi.
No. You're studying Bhakti Shastri, right?
Yeah.
Asatyo vidyate bhavo. Which verse is that?
Which
Na
chapter?
bhavo vidyate satah.
Second
Na
chapter.
satyo vidyate
Bhavo
bhavo.
na bhavo vidyate.
Na satyo vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satah. Ubhayorapvi drishtotas tvanayas tattvadarshi. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance. And of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. This verse is what is being discussed in this first text of chapter 15. Na sat
Nasato vidyate bhavo. Text 16.
16.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nasato vidyate bhavo na
Of
bhavo.
the non-existent, meaning this is ashvat, this tree is ashvat, it is asat,
No.
all right, it's asat, but it's very strong. It's deeply rooted, it is very, very strong. And when the soul gets entangled, falls in the material body, he doesn't want to come out. He's so happy there. What does he do at the most? He starts, to just enjoy the pleasures of this world.
Yes.
So even though it is ashvat, it is asat. Asat meaning it has no endurance. You understand the meaning of endurance? It doesn't last. The body doesn't last. But even though the body doesn't last, we are so happy to be in that body, and whatever small pleasures we're able to derive from the Vedic times, we can have, they make all these rituals and we can enjoy in this planet, that planet. So we grab it. Right?
Mataji, I'm so happy you explained this verse. I was having problem with this verse also. This word endurance, I was not understanding how it is. Uh, it has a reference to here, but you explained it.
And you know, this is the very crux, this text 16 is the very crux of material existence and spiritual existence.
Endurance means you said it is. It has end,
No endurance.
no endurance. Yeah, means it has end, no endurance. Means it doesn't
Yes.
endure.
It doesn't endure. It doesn't
It
last.
doesn't endure.
It doesn't last.
Okay.
So see, those who are seers of the truth, Tadvadarshibhi, what have they seen? They have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance. Why are we saying that the material body is non-existent? Asata, asata. Why we say it's asat? Because it doesn't last. It has no endurance. It doesn't last. And of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. The soul is not changing, but the body is changing. So therefore, the body is asat because it's changing. You know, we just examined now, all of us, we have lived many years. We have seen how things keep changing in this world. So meaning it's asat. You know, I'll give a simple example. You all of your mothers here, right? You're so happy when your child is born. So happy. They're growing up, you're enjoying, and then and gradually you see their bodies are growing, and their bodies grow, they grow away from you. Isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. Very much.
And you still remain the same. You still want the same love from them, the same affection from them, the same obedience. Because in the beginning, they were simply copying you, each and everything. It's how they're always running to you, touching you, want to sit in your lap. Right? Do they do this now? Right? The things have changed. Constant change. Do you know what is this, whether the tree is real or illusion? Ashwat. Asat. Tree of illusion, but it is imperishable. This illusion is so thick that it's like imperishable. You can't remove it. But in this chapter, Krishna is teaching us how to remove it. So if we have understood the Vedas, and Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Vedas, then we will know how to cut that illusion. Is it okay? You're getting an idea?
Mataji. Yeah, first time I understood it. I mean, I feel little better that this is basically what I understand is Mataji. I don't know whether it's right that this is an illusory tree. No, for everybody. For everybody, it's an illusion, and this tree has to be cut. But then it says it's starting from Brahma. So you mean to say it is like when Brahma is an illusion? I mean, that's what
Material world, yes.
entire.
Yes. Entire creation is illusion. So it is individual, at the same time it is cosmic.
Oh. Oh. Oh, oh.
So 2 levels is being discussed here. So you will have a temporary body because Lord Brahma's body is temporary.
Hmm.
The entire cosmos is temporary. So Brahmalok one day will get wind up, right? It's wound up, disappears, become non-manifest. Unmanifest. Remember how he sprouted from the navel of Lord Vishnu?
Hmm.
And he's sitting on that lotus, right? This is where it all starts. He's sitting on that lotus. Again, he will create the planetary systems. And he will place everybody according to the individual taste, their karma, their disposition, their desires. You place them in different parts of this tree of material life. Okay, so understand that this tree is referring to the individual soul who has grown bodies and shedding one body, taking up another body, shed one body, take on another body. So the tree of his existence is being described here. At the same time, the tree of the cosmic manifestation in the purport Prabhupada is explaining. So your illusion, your tree is individual. It's not that you have to wait for the entire cosmos to become liberated, then you get liberated. Lucky for us, our illusion, our tree is individual. And Krishna is teaching us how individually we can detach ourselves from that main tree. This is boon for us. If everybody had to sit and wait, when the big boss will feel like getting free from the cycle of birth and death, then I get the chance to move out. Then Hari Bol, never happened. You follow what's being described here?
Yes, Mataji, you explained it very well. Last May you actually gave very good summary. I never imagined that this is for individual. It's an individual tree for everybody. So that's what, it was so confusing for me all this while to understand this verse, how it works.
Yeah, those are being described. The individual soul who has grown his own tree, plus the cosmic manifestation, which is a tree, an upside down tree.
Thank you
Anything
so
else?
much, Mataji. Now, thank you so much for spending this much time. Actually, I think this chapter deserves a lot of time.
We have been spending a lot of time throughout the Bhagavad Gita. We've been doing one verse.
No, but this 15th chapter, this very important chapter. So much. It's good we spend this time. Now next verses maybe we'll understand it better now. Because it's in relation to this first verse.
Rashmi, you have any question?
Mataji, I have a lot of questions, but I am not mentally good today. I need to down, listen and read it myself. Then I will ask you questions.
All right. You have to work?
No, Mataji, I've been in the temple all day. I've become a bit disturbed after just disappointed after listening to a few things. So I just need to I was thinking of talking to you, but then I thought, no, I will leave it till August because I'm coming anyway. And I'm becoming